Okay, today we're going to do chapter 3.3, the addition and subtraction of algebraic fractions. Okay, before we even begin, let's have a short recap, right, of primary school. Okay, so in primary school, how do we add fractions? Okay, so the recap is this. Okay, in primary school, let's say we have half plus 1/3. Okay, in order for us to add these two fractions, what we actually must have is the lowest common denominator. So how we get that, right? We'll say that half you multiply by 3 over 3, 1/3 you multiply by 2 over 2. Why 3 over 3 and 2 over 2? Because you know that 2 and 3, the lowest common denominator will be 6. So what you get is 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6. Then you can combine the two fractions to give you 3 plus 2 over 6. You get 5 over 6. Okay. Similarly, when we do, let's say we have 1 over 15. Okay, maybe a 4 over 15 minus let's say 1 over 5. Then you will say, what is the lowest common denominator? In this case, 15 and 5. The lowest common denominator will be 15. So for this term over here, what I do is I multiply by 3 over 3. So I get is 4 over 15 minus 3 over 15. Once you have the common denominator, what we can do is we can combine them to get 1 over 15. And we are done with the recap for chapter 3.3. Now let's just delve into a few examples. The examples that I'll be giving you are from exercise 3.3. Okay, so my first example that I'll give to you is 1a. Okay, 1a, they say express as a single fraction 1 over 2a plus 1 over 4a. If you notice 2a and 4a, the lowest common denominator in this case will be actually 4a. So we don't need to multiply anything down here. For this term here, I just multiply by 2 over 2, like this. Okay, maybe it's not so clear on the screen. Let me just use my normal pen. I multiply by 2 over 2 down here to create 2 over 4a plus 1 over 4a. So if I simplify this, I get 2 plus 1 over 4a. I end up with 3 over 4a. This one is simple enough, what I call example. Okay, now we shall move on to something slightly more tricky. Okay, let me give you another example. Let me give you the example 1h. Okay, for 1h, now here what we have is 1 minus u over v plus 1 minus v over u. Okay, the lowest common denominator in this case will be u times v. So how I do that is 1 minus u over v times u over u. Okay, be very careful when you do this. Make sure you have a bracket here for this term here, plus 1 minus v over u, which is this term, times v over v. So make sure you bracket everything there. So what you get here is u times 1 minus u over vu, down here vu, plus v times 1 minus v over vu. Please resist the urge to go and eliminate u and v. Okay, if not, you'll be getting back the same thing here again, which is a waste of time. Then I combine my two fractions. Common denominator is vu, and I get, you expand down here, u times 1 is u times negative u is negative u square plus v minus v square over vu. So if you, that I think u and v, u square, v square, nothing left to what I call simplify, and you are done with question 1h. I'll give you maybe another 2 more examples. Okay, maybe I give you example 2f. Okay, for 2f we get 2c over 5k minus 5k over 2c. Okay, simply, right, if you look 5k 2c, the lowest common denominator you multiply both will be 10kc. Okay, to get 10kc for this guy here, alright, what I do here is this: to get 10kc, I multiply by 2c over 2c. Okay, then for this guy, I multiply by 5k over 5k. Then I start to simplify everything. 2c times 2c gives me 4c squared over 10kc minus 5k times 5k is 25k squared over 10kc. So if you simplify everything, you get 4c squared minus 25k squared over 10kc. And we are done with question 2f. Now I move on to the next example, which is example 3f. Example 3f works like this: 5 over 4x minus 7 minus 2 over 3x plus 1. Okay, lowest common denominator will be this term, 4x minus 7, multiplied to 3x plus 1. So what I'll have here is this: 5 over 4x minus 7, okay, put bracket, I multiply by 3x plus 1 over 3x plus 1 minus 2 over 3x plus 1, this term here, I multiply by 4x minus 7 over 4x minus 7. Okay, this is a 4 here. Alright, then what I have here is this: I'll get 5 times 3x plus 1 over 4x minus 7, 3x plus 1, minus 2 times 4x minus 7 over 4x minus 7 times 3x plus 1. I've created the common denominator here. You combine the fractions now, what we get is minus 2 times 4x minus 7 over 4x minus 7 times 3x plus 1. I carry on simplifying my numerator. I get 15x plus 5. 5 times 3x gives you 15x. 5 times 1 gives you 5. Minus 2 times 4x is minus 8x. Negative 2 times negative 7 is plus 14 over 4x minus 7, 3x plus 1. Then I'm almost done with this question. We have 15x minus 8x is 7x. 5 plus 14 is 19 over 4x minus 7, 3x plus 1. And we are done. Okay, there is no need to expand the denominator. You can just leave it as that is fine, unless the question states otherwise. If not, leaving it like that is actually okay. Alright, now I just give you one more example, 3G, and this will be the end of the examples for this one, this subtopic. Okay, 3G. 3G, slightly tricky here. Okay, notice right that down here, these two actually they are almost the same thing. 2y minus 7, 7 minus 2y. The only thing is that the two positions are flipped. 2y minus 7, the other side is 7 minus 2y. So please, you need to multiply the two of them to get the lowest common denominator. All you need to do is this. From 7 minus 2y, okay, we look at the working here. 7 minus 2y, if you factorize negative 1, you get 2y minus 7. Okay, 7 minus 2y, you factorize negative 1. Negative times 2y is negative 2y. Negative times negative 7 is positive 7. So what happens is, when I factorize negative 1, I get 2y minus 7. So from here, this term here, I factorize negative 1. So I put here negative. I get 2y minus 7. Okay, and 5 in the numerator. So now notice that the two what I call denominators are the same already. So I get 9 minus 5 over 2y minus 7 is equals to 4 over 2y minus 7. And you are done with question 3G. And that is the basics of the chapter 3.3. Thank you for watching.